Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be testing out and reviewing the Neutrogena Radiant Cream Concealer. Now these retail for $14.99. Just looked at the website though, and they're on sale for $11.99. You can get them in 15 different shades. I have two of the shades right here, which I will be swatching for you guys. After my last video in which I was testing out the new Neutrogena color corrector, I read some comments under that video and also through Insta stories. You guys were requesting for me to also review the concealer along with it, which is what we are going to be doing today. Now this formula is buildable based on what I've read. I'm not really sure what kind of coverage this is meant to provide. However, because it does have buildable under the description, I'm assuming that this is going to provide medium to perhaps high, medium, full coverage. I guess we'll test it out and see. Now this formula is supposed to have a blurring effect. So not only is it buildable, but it's also going to help blur out any fine lines or any imperfections without creasing. But we'll see. So let's get started. I'm gonna start off with the color corrector, also from Neutrogena, like I said. And we're just gonna test it out with a corrector over here and without a corrector over here to see what kind of coverage this will give us and whether or not us dark circle gals need a corrector underneath this concealer. Now I've added the shade Peach. This is the shade Deep Peach. I really wish they had one in the middle because I feel like that's where I'm at, right in the middle, because the peach is just a little too light. This one's a little too deep, so I've been having to mix them both, and it seems to work just fine after that. All right, so there is one side done. Let me apply foundation and I'll be right back. All right, foundation's on. Let's move on to concealer. This is what the shades look like right here. This is both of the shades combined, and this is what they look like individually. The deeper of the two, this one is Almond Medium 2. That's what this looks like. And the lighter of the two is Bisque Light Medium 2, which looks like that in the middle. Way too light. That would absolutely make my under eye area look gray. So I'm gonna stick with like half and half. That's both of them combined. And I feel like that is definitely a better match. So gonna have to mix them. That's what happens sometimes when you order online or when you're not able to swatch things. It's like, it's the guessing game for sure. So I'm gonna take it from the back of my hand using my Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. Let's start off with the side that we've color corrected and see what kind of coverage we get. So both combined actually gives a really nice like peach undertone. All right, so that's what one layer looks like there. I like it. It's concealing really well. I feel like I could use just a tiny little bit more right here in order to try to make this full coverage, you know? So I think I may add just a little bit more there. I'm gonna pick up a little bit. So just right here. When I build up the concealer underneath my eyes, I don't like to do the whole thing over again or like add a layer underneath the entire under eye area. Just like to concentrate it where I see a little bit of darkness still peeking through. All right, very good. So far so good. Let's move on to the left side. So again, taking a little bit more with my brush. All right, so there is that. I would definitely categorize this as medium coverage, medium buildable coverage, just based on the one layer that I've got going on over here. I do want to add a little tiny bit more though. Now what I think is helping this left side not look so dark anymore, which is good, it's fine, is the fact that I'm combining the two shades, and the deeper shade of the two has a little bit of a peach undertone. So of course, peach is always going to help the dark circle situation. It's always going to help neutralize it, which is why I think I'm getting really nice coverage over here on the left side even without the color corrector underneath. All right, there we go. Very similar coverage underneath both eye areas. Like I said, pretty sure it's the undertone on the deeper shade that I grabbed. Now I am gonna set this very lightly because I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm already seeing a little bit of settling underneath the eyes over here, and I'm sure that I'm gonna get the same situation over here because we did add a couple of layers, although they were light layers, it's still layered. So gonna set it in place. So I'm gonna set it with my blurring under eye powder from Pat McGrath. I use the shade medium. So just taking a little bit of that with my Sigma, which one is this? This is the Soft Blend 50, number 50 brush. And just setting the concealer in place. So far, I really like the coverage. It looks very nice and natural underneath the eye too. Doesn't look too heavy or overly done. All right, there we go, under eye. Done, ready to go. Let me zoom you guys in. Although I feel like I'm getting a little bit better coverage over here, it's not by much, right? Let me zoom you in. All right, so this is the current situation. Looks pretty light, doesn't look too heavy, too overly done underneath the eyes, and it is providing a really, really good amount of coverage. All right, you guys know the drill. Let me jump off, finish the rest of my makeup, and I will be right back. All right, I am back, makeup is done, ready to continue on with my day. So far, so good as far as how it looks up close. It doesn't look dry, it doesn't look cakey, it doesn't look nasty. However, the coverage just is not, it's not there for me, you know? So although this did help brighten up the under eye area, it's just, I could still see my dark circles. I can still see them, but that's okay. Nowhere in the description that this claimed to be full coverage. It did say that it was buildable, but it never said that it was supposed to be full coverage. So I'm not gonna hold that against it too much. I'm gonna focus mainly on how it wears throughout the day, whether or not it moves around, if it looks dry, if it starts to crack, if it starts to settle in between fine lines, that kind of thing. So what time is it? It is currently 11:55 in the almost afternoon. I'm gonna wear this for a good 4 hours before coming back halfway through the day and showing you guys some close-ups per usual under natural lighting and all that good stuff. So yeah, so I'll see you back here in a few hours for my midday check-in. All right, so I'm back for a quick midday check-in. It is currently 4:04, so I've had this on for 4 hours, right? I think we started like right at noon or around there. This is the situation underneath the eyes. Looks a little dry, but it's staying in place. You can really see the lack of coverage, like especially here underneath natural lighting, whereas I think you couldn't really see it this morning, but it hasn't worn off. So this is the coverage that I started with, and this is pretty much, this is what I started with. So we're still good, still in place, still there. Like I said, just looks a tiny bit dry, but it's still there. I'll continue to wear it for a good like 3 or 4 more hours to give it a full day. So I'll see you back here in a few more hours for my final check-in. All right, I am back for my final check-in. It is, what time is it? It is 8:04, which means that I've had this on all day, solid 8 hours. Before I get into what I think, I'm gonna zoom you guys in one last time so that you can get a good look underneath the eyes after a full day of wear. All right, so here we are, 8 hours later, end of day check-in close-up. What do you guys think? All right, so there it is. That's the under eye area after wearing it all day long. Personally, not a huge fan just because it kind of wore off. I don't remember exactly the amount of coverage that we started with. I know that we didn't start with full coverage, but I also know that it was a little bit more than this. So it definitely wore off throughout the day. If you're looking for a drugstore concealer that's going to last you all day long and you have dark circles like I do, then perhaps this one it might not be it. Also, if you're not a fan of the under eye area looking a little bit dry, then perhaps this might not be it as well. I had to set it this morning because without it, I was starting to see some settling in between fine lines. So it did help. It looked great. It didn't look dry to me at that point, but just as the day went on, it started to look a little bit dry. Now that it's the end of the day, it still just looks a little bit dry, but like I said, it's just the coverage. The coverage just, it lessened, definitely lessened. So in conclusion, not a fan of this one, especially if you're looking for like long lasting coverage for the under eye area. Maybe this would be great if you're just trying to like conceal blemishes here and there, or, you know, a little bit of darkness, but darkness like mine, it's not gonna last all day, unfortunately. At least it didn't. At least it didn't on me. So that completes today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed today's product review and that you found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on future videos. And also don't forget to follow me over on Instagram, where I absolutely love to interact with you guys. As always, take care, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah. Bye.